Ramble.
Thank you to DoorDash, BetterHelp, and Chime for sponsoring this episode. Good morning, everybody. It's so good to see everyone. And it's so good to be talking to our listeners today. We have a great episode for you. But first, I'm Ariel, one of your hosts, and I am joined by Maggie.
Hello.
Rachel.
Hi.
Becky.
Hello.
Matt.
Ciao.
And our wonderful Pixie and Pixette, Rainie and Miles. So our episode today, I'm already getting into it. I'm very excited about it. We're talking about friends. If you guys have listened to some of our most recent episodes, you will know that we put our friends above many things. We all love our friends. There was a question where I chose friend over breaking up with that friend because she slept with your boyfriend. So yeah, that was fun. Anywho, we're gonna go into our messages apps today. And for those of us who have iPhones, which I believe we all do, and look at the friends that we've texted with most recently and kind of get into what our friendships are, what our friendships make, what our friend.
What our friend? To you.
What's our friend?
So where should we start? Let's see. Becky, do you want to talk a little bit about what your friends are to you? Are you an introvert? Are you an extrovert? Do you have a lot of friends?
I feel like I have a lot of friends. Keith and I keep our friend circle pretty big, but also pretty tight knit. I think it's interesting since we went to college together. We have lots of overlap in our friends, but they're like as young as 3 years younger than me and as old as like 4 years older than Keith. So like it's definitely a wide variety, and we're a big friends are family people. Mm-hmm. So we love
So Midwestern.
We love hanging out with our friends. We love throwing parties with our friends.
Yeah, you guys
do, like,
hosting a lot.
You're so
Yes.
social.
Yes, we're very social. We actually just hosted our second baby shower in our backyard.
I saw that.
Yeah, for one of our college friends.
Wow.
Yeah.
The Geminis.
You know, you got space, you got to share it.
Yeah, I do feel like you guys host a lot of people and you're very social. Like there's not a time when you guys are not busy with people.
Yeah, pretty much. But I think the most, I would say like in my phone right now is like who I've been texting the most. I'm very fortunate. My best friend Hannah from college moved to LA a couple years after I did. And she actually lived with us for a couple months. And then she moved in with her boyfriend kind of down the street from us.
So funny.
So I get to go out with her and her boyfriend like all the time and walk over to their house. We go on little like morning walks and night walks. So I have a lot of
That's the dream.
chats with her. Yeah.
Who
Yes,
is
we
Hannah?
can't. Who is
makes
Hannah
Who's this
Banana?
Hannah?
Hannah Banana. Hannah Banana was one of my bridesmaids in, if you watch the wedding video, she's the one who does all the interviews because she's an actress. She's very charismatic.
Very funny.
She's very, very funny. She has a podcast, a Gossip Girl podcast that is
fun.
hilarious. She loves all things pop culture.
Surprise.
I know. She makes like her
Something in common with
part
you.
of her day job is like making memes for like Amazon.
Cool.
Like it's very, she's just like, she did stand up for a while and we're very similar, but like different in our own ways, which I think is good. And she's like one of those people that like you could literally say anything to. Like she probably knows any like weird thought I've had. And she's very good at, and she loves mental health. So she's really good at being like, I'll be like, oh, I had a bad day. And she'll like, she knows how to go into like, okay, this is what we'll do.
What do you need?
Yeah. And so it's really nice. And I love being able to hang out with her and her boyfriend.
She sounds like a very healthy person to be around.
Oh, yeah.
Would you say you guys got closer when she moved down the street?
Yeah, I mean, when she moved to LA, we definitely got a lot closer. She's actually 1 year younger than me. So when I moved to the city, when we lived in Chicago, she was still in like Normal, where we went to college. But then she interviewed for a job at the same restaurant that I worked at right after I was leaving. So I got to give her like a good recommendation. And then when we moved to LA, I can say it now because we don't live there anymore, but we lived in a part of town called Los Feliz, and she stayed with us for like 2 months. And then we found an apartment on Craigslist that was less than a 5-minute walk from our house.
Wow.
So we've always been able to stay like very, very close.
Okay, so these two both got their friends' apartments near them, which is how they devised this situation.
Genius.
I also
Ariel,
gave-
we have to go real estate shopping together in
We'll just
Pasadena.
get like a duplex.
Yeah.
Help out your
Yeah.
friends.
I also gave Hannah my room when I left Chicago. So she actually lived in the bedroom that I lived in for 2 years.
Wow.
Are you the same person? Are you?
Kind of. It was very
Just on different
surreal. Like when
timelines?
I would go back and like have a sleepover and be like, well, this is where my bed was. This is the same.
That's like when we shot Ned and Ariel's house for 2 years. I was like, oh, this is where your bed was.
This is where
Yeah.
This is our studio now.
Yeah.
I feel
I
like
love
it's
having that.
rare in
Healthy
adult
choices.
life to live really close to one of your best friends.
childhood
Like,
friend, especially.
like down the street close.
Yeah. So close.
Like,
I take
of
a
my
little
best
Lime
friends,
scooter sometimes.
I consider in the same state to be close, you know?
Yeah.
I used to live in
Wow.
the same apartment building as Chime.
Yeah, you did.
That's true.
That's cool.
Matt, you have some good friends too.
Yeah.
Some like
You
very
have a
tight
core group.
I do. Yeah. I have a good group of friends. Yeah. We're pretty close, but I used to live in the same building. Like when Eugene and I, our first apartment, like David Dang lived literally next door. We shared a wall. And then our friend AJ was literally up the stairs from us. So it was so nice.
Is that how
Make
you
it very
guys became
spontaneous.
friends?
No, we were friends before.
That's
So
the
I
other
had-
dream. Look at you guys.
So I had found this apartment and it was a really great deal in West Hollywood. And then an apartment opened up and I like sent it AJ's way, and then another apartment opened up and I sent it David's way. So
Wow.
That's amazing.
just ended up working out. It was like a Melrose Place situation.
And you
know?
guys would
It's kinda cool.
host parties up with
Yeah,
the
we would do
3
like progressive
apartments.
parties.
Yeah.
You would like start the party one place and then move on, you know, so it's everyone could host
Appetizers,
like one.
dinner.
Yeah. Everyone could host
Sure.
one section of the party.
That's
night.
so fun.
Yeah, it was really fun.
How would you describe David Dang? I would
Yes,
describe him
please.
as a lover.
He is the Energizer Bunny. He always has so much energy, always very enthusiastic, has a million balls in the air at once. You know, he's always juggling. He always is doing so many activities, knows so many people. He's like constantly kind of digitally reaching out and talking to people too. He loves meeting new people and making new friends. So I feel like that's a great person for me to have around, because I'm not someone who will always go up and talk to someone I don't know, right? Like I'm very strong in keeping with the people that I do know and the friends, like when we go out and stuff. So I think it's really great to have that personality there to help force me out of my bubble, but then also to bring other people into the fold.
And glass half full, but not just half full, maybe overflowing and with like the good champagne. Like so optimistic that
It's a
David
champagne
Dang.
tower.
He is.
He's not just one little glass.
He's the champagne tower.
Yeah.
The champagne tower of
Exactly.
friends.
Yeah.
How about you guys? Who are the people that are like in your phone other than your partners that you're like constantly texting, or family?
Yeah. What about you?
I have like, do you guys pin people's tweets?
Oh, you pin
Tweet
their
messages.
messages?
I pin.
Not
Yeah,
tweets.
I pin.
Why did I say tweets? I'm not very active on
I only
Twitter
pin
anyway.
Watts.
You only pin one?
Yeah, just Watts.
Yeah. I have my best friend from high school. Her name is Samra pinned. And then I have another really close friend. She's also my best friend, Stephanie, who I don't think a lot of you have met because she lives, Samra might as well live in a different state because she lives in Northern California. And it's a 6-hour drive to get to her. But we talk, gosh, like at least once a week, if not more often, depending on what's going on. And then my really close friend, Stephanie, we were all kind of in the same high school group. But I just saw her recently for a bachelorette party from one of our other really close high school friends that lives in New York City now. Yeah, I think just going to all girls school, you kind of have like this weird shared experience, So I've held on to a lot of my high school friends very closely. As far as nursing school, I have a couple close friends from nursing school that I keep in touch with as well. But those two are my main two.
So longer distance.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question. Have you guys stayed close from high school till now, or have you like ebbed and flowed in and out of like closeness and friendship?
I'll talk about Samra probably because like that's probably the easiest one, and she's been on this podcast, so some people are familiar with who she is. But she went to school up north and then also went to graduate school in Scotland. So while we were both like in the thick of college and her master's program, we definitely like would fall off. But now that we're kind of in a rhythm now, we are better at keeping together. But she's the type of friend that I've explained before, like so much time will pass and then we'll get together. And it's like, I don't even consider her like my best friend. I consider her my sister. I call her my sister. She's one of those people that I can have over, and it's such a low stakes friendship that we can just sit on a couch together and veg and like not speak one word to each other and we just enjoy each other's company. Like those are the kind of friendships that are just so special, I think. And not having to like put on an entire dinner party, but I just love hanging out with her,
Right.
having her sleep over.
Yeah, I love those friendships where you could just invite them over, you know, and you don't have to like prepare food or anything like that. You're just like, you want water? Are you hungry?
Yeah.
Like I have like spicy water. Do you want that? that's what we call like LaCroix and stuff. Yeah, I have. So I'm looking at the people that I have pinned in my phone, and I've got Ned, of course. I have our nanny. I have my friend Alex. I have my mom, and I have Rachel. Yes, Rachel made it to my pins.
I've never been more honored to make the cut.
I know. But I don't make friends very easily. And so when I do make a connection with someone that really means something to me, I keep it. And so like the people that I can think of that I talk to a lot or text with or like see a fair amount come from all over the place. I mean, one of them is Carol, who I never see, but she is the person who, if I have a 2-hour drive, I'm going to call her, you know, just chat. And Carol always answers the phone. Doesn't matter where she is. She could be pooping. And she's like, hey, I'm pooping. And then my friend Alex, who she was like the girlfriend of a friend of Ned's from college. And she was actually at our wedding. Like they go back that far. I didn't know her then. But when we moved to LA, we met up at a diner and just hit it off. So we're like closer friends now than before. She just had a kid. And so, you know, we see them every once in a while, but we'll take like mom dinners, you know, where the two of us will just go out after the kids go to bed. And then
Mom's night out.
And then I have like a couple of mom friends that, you know, some people you really just connect with, and like our kids aren't even friends. It's just like it's just they just get you, you know. And right now, at like in this point in my life, those friendships are very important because they just get it.
Mm-hmm. How do you turn a mom friend that you meet at like the playground or a class or preschool or whatever into a real friend?
It's hard. It's really, really hard because they have to feel the same way. You know, you could connect with somebody and be like, I want to be their friend. I'm currently working on a cool jacket mom.
Yeah.
That I've told Rachel about. There's this
jacket mom.
Okay.
She was wearing this beautiful red Doan jacket that I have been searching the used internet for, like eBay and stuff. I'm like, I want that jacket.
I know. Right?
We all love her.
I did not end up buying it, but I could see you wearing it. Yes. Okay. So I was at this playground with Wes and a couple of his friends from school, and there was this mom there who was following her kid around going, Finny. And I was like, oh my gosh, my youngest son's name is Finn. You're like, that's so funny. And she was like, oh, that's great. Like Finley Finnegan, blah, blah, blah. that was the only interaction that we had, but I loved her jacket and I remembered it and I looked it up online later and I was like, I have to find this jacket. And then I saw the same mom at gymnastics and I knew that it was the same mom because she's calling her kid Finn. And so now I see her at gymnastics every once in a while and I'm just like, so do you live in Pasadena or like where, so I'm working on her. Her kid's younger than mine. He's like in between.
Do you drink wine sometimes at restaurants out at night?
Do you like want to take our after this? Do you want to go somewhere or like? I don't know.
You just got to bring David Dang.
Yeah. I know. I gotta bring David Dang.
He's the best wingman.
He's a good friend
you're
wingman.
right.
Yeah. This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp Online Therapy. People don't always recognize that physical symptoms like headaches, teeth grinding, and even digestive issues can be indicators of stress. I definitely have had stress like this in my life. Stress shows up in all kinds of ways, and in a world that is telling you to do more, sleep less, and grind all the time, here is your reminder to take care of yourself and maybe try some therapy, like BetterHelp. I love BetterHelp. It's super easy. I can talk to my therapist on my phone. We can text, we can call. It's so simple. BetterHelp is customized online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat sessions with your therapist, so you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to. And it is much more affordable than in-person therapy. Give it a try and see if online therapy can help lower your stress. This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp, and You Can Sit With Us listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/sitwithus. That's BETTERHELP.com/sitwithus. DoorDash connects you with the restaurants you love right now and right to your door. And now you can get the grocery essentials you need with DoorDash too. Get drinks, snacks, and other household items delivered in under an hour. Ordering is so easy. You just open the DoorDash app, choose what you want from where you want, and your items will be left safely outside your door with the contactless delivery drop-off setting. With over 300,000 partners in the US, Puerto Rico, Canada, and Australia, you can support your neighborhood go-tos or choose from your favorite national restaurants like Popeyes, Chipotle, and the Cheesecake Factory. For a limited time, you guys can get 25% off and 0 delivery fees on your first order of $15 or more when you download the DoorDash app and enter code SITWITHUS. That's 25% off up to a $10 value and 0 delivery fees on your first order when you download the DoorDash app in the App Store and enter code SITWITHUS. Don't forget, that's code SITWITHUS for 25% off your first order with DoorDash. Subject to change, terms apply. Yeah, sometimes you do need to have like a wingman when you're making friends and trying to make that friend connection. It's like dating because you're like, oh, like I have this feeling about this person, but I don't want to put myself out there because I still have to see her at gymnastics. And what if it doesn't work out? You know, like.
Do you feel that having children has changed your dynamic with some of your friends?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And especially the ones who don't have kids. Because, you know, there are just certain times that you can't answer the phone or answer a text. Between the hours of 5 p.m. and 8 p.m. are usually those times. You know, it's like
all hands on deck.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You're like deep in bath and bed and all that. But then after that, you know, then you can respond. And Rachel gets it. So we're texting back and forth after the kids go to bed.
Yeah. And before a very early bedtime.
Yes, exactly.
It's a limited window for friendship. Well, I have a question. Of all of these best friends who are your number one on your messages, what is something that you've learned from one of them? Like, are you learning stuff from your friends? And if so, what is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a good point to bring up because, I mean, there are friends that you just kind of like hang out with, but I feel like most of my friends are people who kind of teach me different things, right? So like David Dang is really all about hair, skincare, that type of stuff. So I've learned a lot from him. But then like my one friend, AJ, he works for Therabody. So he's always teaching me about like the latest technologies and the different products they have coming out and, you know, how to take better care of your body. And my friend Katie is a graphic designer, right? So she does a lot of really cool stuff that helps push me kind of in that design realm. So I think it's important that, you're still getting something out of the friendship rather than just have someone there as a companion, right? You're learning new skills from them. You're learning new ways of being, new perspectives, that type of thing.
Yeah, I think shared experiences help a lot too. Like I know with Hannah and I both lost family members very close together. So like having someone to talk about grief with was really, that wasn't a family member. So we could be like each other's sort of sounding boards and kind of just say whatever's popping into your head without feeling like you have to, maybe tone down your language or, mitigate your feelings to not hurt someone else's feelings. So I think, I've learned a lot about like grief and things like that from Hannah. She's very wise young gal.
Yeah, and just so you can be like sad together. I know that sounds so basic, but like when you're going through stuff like that, you don't necessarily want to walk in the room and bring everyone else down with you, but you need someone who understands.
Yeah. So I think that's really good. And then I also have my best friend, Tia. What I learned from her all the time, this bitch is sober but loves to party. She is like my favorite friend. We get our nails done together every 3 weeks. And like, I don't know, I feel like since I do have a lot of friends who are very big into like drinking or weed, essentially, it's fun to hang out with Tia and be like, oh yeah, you can do lots of fun things without any substances. You know what I mean? I don't have to be like, oh, let's go to this place for dinner because they have really good wine. Yeah. And just like, let's go watch 4 movies in a row at the movie theater and eat our weight in popcorn.
Stone cold sober, high on candy.
100%.
That's funny.
Yeah. How about you guys? What do you learn from Bam?
Oh my gosh, Samra. She has such a wealth of knowledge when it comes to animals, which every single time I hang out with her and Zach's, she can talk for like 5 minutes straight about said animal. She used to work with baby otters and rehabilitate them and get them back into the wild. It was so cool.
Baby otters sound adorable.
They were so cute. She looked like Darth Vader every single time she'd go in and handle them because you don't want them to imprint on you. Yeah, she had such a wealth of knowledge.
But this is why I would not be good at this. I would go in, I would lift it up and be like, imprint on me. We'll be together forever. Stay with me.
But you want them to fear humans. She had like this whole thing.
Sure.
Yeah. And apparently they're really mean. Even though they're really cute. Yeah.
They're little punks?
Yeah, they're little punks.
Okay, I love them even
How else are they going to survive?
Yeah. You gotta.
Yeah, they're too cute.
They're so cute.
How else are they going to survive?
Yeah, and she knows a lot about.
They hold hands while they sleep, Matthew.
They do.
And on the mom, they just like.
That's how Matt Eugene
Long
sleeps
stomach.
too.
Yeah.
Eugene sleeps on Matt's stomach.
While they float in the pool.
Basically.
Yeah.
A dog on either side.
Yeah, she's been able to she showed us a great Pacific octopus once, which was really cool. And she just has such a wealth of knowledge of the world and conservation. And she loves teaching Zach and I how to camp, how to do nature-y things.
Zach doesn't seem like a camper.
Oh my God, he loves being in the outdoors, but he doesn't know how to said camp. So Samra is always she's always our like safety net there. And she always makes sure we have all the gear, that we're not going to go hungry.
That's important.
That's a good friend to have. That's a good friend to have.
To have your food and to pack it away appropriately so you don't get eaten by wild animals.
Yes.
That's number one.
Yes. And she's just like so above the noise. She's just like, I love her so much. She's like not on social media. She has like this fresh perspective on the world and how big and beautiful the world is and how we need to take care of it. And I'm like, Samurai, I love you. Protect you at all costs.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
That's so sweet.
And she's like on a really big journey of self-love right now and like working on things. So we talk a lot about that. So, she just feel good energy always.
I have this one friend who, like, I could literally just text them at, 8 a.m. one morning and be like, hey, you want to come over? And she's like,
up.
Yeah. let's hang.
Cool.
Who?
I said cool.
Oh, yeah. Cool. No, it's, so Wes's bestie. It's his mom.
George's mom.
Yeah, George's mom.
Cute.
We did it the other day. I was like, I might have bought a bouncy house on Instagram.
Come over.
Yes,
Please
we
come
saw.
over. And she was like, I'm in the car.
100%. Let's bounce.
Yeah.
Okay. Who do you go to in your life when you need advice? Who do you call? Is it your friends? Is it your mama?
Advice on what?
Yeah.
It's advice.
Let's see.
Miles.
Who do you call?
'Cause I feel like it's very because there's not one friend or one person
If you know,
that
you
can
know.
do everything for you, right? Like that's why you have different
That's a
friends
really
to
good
go
point.
to for different things. It kind of like helps complete your life, right? So-
Absolutely. Okay, what if it's like big life advice? Like I'm thinking about changing up something really big. What should I do? Who are you going to?
My dad.
It depends if it's like career
Yeah.
Yeah.
versus love life
Okay.
versus other friends. Like there's a lot of big
Yeah,
things
I
that can
get it. I
happen.
get it. Okay, career, Matt. Career advice.
Career. I would probably talk to people that I used to work with, like at EY. Actually, I would reach out to like former colleagues that I've become close to over the years, just because they
Did
know the
you
world that I came from and stuff.
Ever have like a work mentor?
Yeah, I mean, where I worked, we had what they would call your career counselor. And that was kind of supposed to be your formal mentor in the company. But then you would always have, informal mentors that you could talk to and get advice and help connect you with other people and stuff like that.
Did you ever have like a work friend that turned into a friend?
Oh yeah, many.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you have a work friend that turned into a work enemy?
One step darker, Becky.
Not an enemy, but someone that I would not talk to again.
Pure evil.
No.
Okay, who do you guys go to for career advice? And did you ever have like a work mentor?
I had a couple people that mentored me when I was very new, but I feel like if I had a question in regards to where I was working, I'd probably go to someone who was very experienced. But in regards to like general work advice, I don't know. I feel like I just go to people not necessarily for advice, but sometimes just to be heard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
Sounding
as I'm a soundboard, and it's like as I'm processing, sometimes it helps to just talk about it and verbalize and hear myself talk about it, and sometimes I'm able to come up with things just by doing that. But
Yeah.
I don't think I have like a go-to person for said career advice.
You're just figuring it out all by yourself.
We're all just children trying to figure it out at the end of the day.
Yeah. I go to friends for sure. Probably before I go to my parents, just because I feel like our friends are most of our friends are in the entertainment industry too, in one form or another. So it's easier to like relate to things. Whereas like my mom was in SLP and my dad worked at UPS. So like, what do you think about this brand deal? Doesn't really, they're just like excited all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel like parents sometimes really want to fix things when you tell them like you're having a problem with something. Whereas like friends, you can like, sometimes I'll even say like if I'm texting like Hannah or Natalie, I'll be like, I don't need like advice on how to make this better. I just want to tell you that this thing is happening.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I hear
Oh,
that.
that's good to just
to,
be
like,
clear from the outset.
Yeah. Because I
take
do the
the
same thing. I
temperature.
do it to Keith all the time. He'll like tell me about something. And I'll be like, well, you could do this, you could do this, you could do this. And he's like,
Not
I
us.
just
need to
don't
talk.
I just need to,
Yeah.
I just need to get the words out of my mouth. But thank you for trying to help.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do that with Ned too, where like the two of us will just sort of talk at each other and not really want to like get the other person's feedback. It's just more like this happened and I sort of want it to be out there.
Yeah.
You know who I ran into the other day? Joy from Oh Joy.
Oh, yeah.
Talk about work mentors. She's great. Yeah.
Was she your work mentor?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. One of a few, but probably one of the best that I've ever had. Yeah. No, she's still, and she takes a lot of pride in being a mentor too for like young creators.
That's very sweet of her.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No, she does like web seminars and things like that for, just people who are trying to get into like graphic design or getting into sort of like different businesses.
All right. Well, do you think, and laugh out loud at this question, that men and women can be friends?
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely not.
I mean, work enemy established.
I'm just kidding. I feel like it's a silly question.
Yeah.
It is a silly question. Why does that question exist, do you think?
I think it exists because some people don't believe that
They can't.
men and women can be friends. I think there are people in the world who are like, nah, Men and women are just for fucking. Can't be friends or
I
you'll
think
fuck.
that's a reflection of how they see friendship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, if someone answers no to that question, you definitely can't be friends with them.
No.
Yeah.
That's red flag number 1.
Yeah.
Okay. That was like, who are your friends? Now, why friends?
Why friends?
Okay. How would you qualify a good friend? What do your good friends have in common?
You just pick up where you left off. Doesn't matter how much time has passed. And
I thought you literally meant me, and I was like, huh? Huh? Men and women, huh?
no, it like doesn't matter how much time has passed. It could be years. But you call a person on the phone and they're like, what's up? Like nothing has happened.
Yeah. 100%.
It really does work like that. It's pretty magical.
I know. With the friends that I can do that with, it doesn't matter. You know, you're just like, hey, what's going on in your life? You know, and it could be, they could be like, we're trying to have a kid. We're, you know, I met someone, this and that. It's like those big, like, I don't know. The friendship is sort of floats above everything else.
I mean, there have definitely been friends that I've grown away from over time.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and friends that you have kept on to for all the years, right? But I think the biggest thing is, even though you can call them up anytime, there's still like the two-sidedness of it, right? Like, you're not always the one doing all the work in the friendship. Like, the other person is still, you're not always the first to say hi, right? Like, there's some reciprocation going on.
Still, like, what makes a good friend, though?
I think that's one. Reciprocation. Makes good friends.
Reciprocation.
Yeah.
You can call them up anytime, and the core of it hasn't changed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a comfort level too, right? Like, you feel comfortable enough to share things with them, and you have that trust in them that they're not going to go tell page 6 or whatever. It's going to end up in the news. All your friends are going to know after 5 minutes, you know?
Yeah. There was one thing that
100%.
Becky said about Hannah where like, you don't have to worry about what they think.
Yeah.
And like that you have to, you know, change the way that you feel or like just to make them happy or to not make them sad, you know, or something like that.
Yeah.
Was there ever a time in your life, middle school, high school, college, adulthood, where you were friends with people you didn't like that much? And why were you friends with them?
Yeah, 100%. My college boyfriend sucked, and so did his friends. So that's probably a pretty big.
But you really liked him.
I liked at the time. I did. I thought I did.
We all make bad choices
Yeah,
sometimes.
bad
Becky. We all
choices.
do, okay?
I think it was one of those things where, like, after we broke up, all my friends were like, "Yeah, that dude sucks. We didn't really know why you were with him." And I was like, "Oh, super fun. Thank you for telling me. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing." Yeah, I think they were friends out of the fact that it was college and a very transitional time, and I was proximity.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh yeah, I could get over some of the shitty things that they did or said at times, because I was like, well, I got to be friends with them because, they're friends with my boyfriend.
I feel like now, especially in the work environment, everything's all a little bit more casual. So you're supposed to be more friends with your coworkers and stuff. So there were definitely people that you would have to kind of pretend to be friends with in order to get everything done in the day that you needed to get done.
And do you think that's good, or do you wish the work environment had just been more strictly professional so you didn't have to fake friendship with people in order to work collaboratively?
I mean, it was more fun with the people you actually liked.
Yeah.
So that was good. But then the people that you didn't really like, you'd rather just be able to be like, okay, you're a work person. I shouldn't have to tell you these things.
I shouldn't have to tell you about my life, Janet.
I don't really want to tell you these things about,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe you should just hang out second try. Everyone's amazing.
I mean, look
Here we
where I
are.
am.
I know.
It's hard having a fake friend that you have to talk to all the time.
I love your relationship, the two of you. It is so funny.
It's very mom and dad over there
yeah.
today.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
Excuse
I
me.
think it's very sibling.
Wow.
Yeah.
I feel like it's very sibling.
Yeah.
I mean,
Minus
our
the
family
sexual
lineage
tension.
does go back. We are.
Oh yeah, we're McLeans through and through.
She has a McLean in her,
So we always joke that we're
generations
kin.
past. So we're
You're
kin.
kin.
Yeah.
How many generations back?
I don't know a lot.
I mean, I'm a current McLean, so I don't know.
I am very distant.
Mine's whenever the Mormons were crossing. Whenever they were booted from wherever they were booted from to go to wherever it is.
West.
Where is it? Utah.
They moved
Utah.
west.
They had to move west. Yeah. That was when the McLeans were in my family.
All right. Mags and Ariel, I'm looking at you. If you had to choose one main purpose friendship plays in your life, what is it in like a singular word? Is it joy, support, intellectual combos? What is it?
Support.
I feel like joy. Happy people don't kill their husbands. And I feel like, I'm just kidding. I feel like if you are happy, if you're happy,
Facts.
I feel like it can lead to feeling support.
No one likes waiting on a paycheck, especially when you have bills due. Good thing there is Chime. Now you can get your paycheck up to 2 days early with direct deposit. That's up to 2 more days to save, pay bills, and generally just feel good about your money situation. But Chime is more than just about getting paid early. It's also an award-winning mobile app, checking account, debit card, and optional savings account. So what are you waiting for? Hopefully not your paycheck. Get started with Chime today. Applying for a free account takes less than 2 minutes. Get started at chime.com/sitwithus. That's chime.com/sitwithus. Banking services and debit card provided by the Bancorp Bank or Stride Bank, NA, members FDIC. Early access to direct deposit funds depends on pay. When I reach out to friends, it's usually because I have, I either want to see them and enjoy their energy, and but I think there is like a sort of this like through line of we bring each other support and I don't know, advice or really just being there to talk to somebody,
What about you guys?
I mean, I want to say support system, but I feel like,
Yeah.
right, because that's kind of what it is. It's supporting you in many different ways, like supporting you going out, supporting you
right.
with life changes, supporting you hosting dinners,
literally supporting
your
you
projects.
when you get too drunk and carrying you home.
Yeah.
So I feel like that support lends itself in many
In other
different ways.
facets.
Yeah. And I think it works both ways, the support. Like you should be supporting your friends and they should be supporting you, because it's hard to be in, it's all about that reciprocating where it can't always be that like your friend is relying on you to do something, but then they're never there for you or vice versa.
I have a question. Do you get mad when your friends become friends? So I feel like some people do get upset when their friend becomes better friends than they are with you.
Oh,
That's a
Like
really good question.
when I became friends with all of you, were the boys pissed?
Yeah, tell us, Rachel.
Were they? No, you tell me. Did they go home and they were like, I saw you went to dinner with Rachel.
I saw you did that.
Oh, no.
No, of course not.
I feel like when I was younger, maybe, but I now am worried about the opposite. When I I recently introduced 2 friends like last week, and I was like, oh, I hope they like each other. And they loved each other. And I'm like, yay.
Sometimes it's a lot of pressure to be the linchpin in a social situation, though, especially if the other people are kind of individuals. They're not like with their partner or something. So then you're like, okay, everyone, please have fun.
Yeah.
Please like each other.
Yeah.
Do you feel that pressure when thinking about your wedding, Mags, and like
Yes.
inviting people from different areas of your
I do.
life?
That, and we're going to be busy. So I hope everyone gets along. But yeah.
Just invite
we have
David
so
Dang
many-
and we'll be fine.
I know. Yeah. We have friends from like the East Coast. We have friends from like my pocket of friends and Zach's pocket of friends. I was like, oh,
That is why weddings are like fuckathons.
fuckathon?
Ariel. Really?
Sorry, what are weddings?
I'm not going to say it again. Did
that happen?
How many times do we say it?
Did that happen at your wedding? Did a lot of people hook up?
Well, Ariel got married when people were on the loose.
I guess that's true.
Single and looking to mingle.
Yeah.
No, and people's parents were there. Like parents of like a childhood friends, and so they were trying to hook up friends. So Carol actually dated a guy whose mom was at my wedding and introduced the 2 of them.
Whoa.
Oh, the moms were trying to
Matchmaker.
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 Yeah,
Got
exactly.
it.
I was like, why would your parents
be fucking.
being there lead to more sex?
They were
It's
fucking
confusing to me.
matchmaking.
Got it.
So,
Got
but,
it.
Like, yeah. So the mom was matchmaking, and she was like, "My son would love you," and Carol was like, "Okay."
How long did they date for? Was it pretty successful?
It was like 3 months.
That's not too shabby for like a wedding hookup.
I know, pretty good, right? But oh yeah, like it was friends from all, like friends from college, friends from improv, just everybody was just like big dance floor.
Improv friends, real slutty.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I figured.
real promiscuous, just looking to, and we all, a lot of people lived in Chicago, so it wasn't the sort of thing where it was like,
You have to travel.
we have to travel. It's like,
were
just
like,
come back to my house.
It's all here, baby.
Yeah, and it rained when everybody was leaving, and so
Romance.
people had to like share cabs and stuff because they couldn't get enough cabs.
A logistical
I think that
dream.
like people who ended up sharing cabs, like there was a reason for them to go home together.
funny.
It like
Just-
made it
just-
easier. They were just
Yeah.
like, just get in this cab and like, where are you going? Are you going like east side, west side? And so then people would just jump in a cab together and be like, why don't you just come back to my place?
Oh my goodness.
Matchmaker.
Rowdy.
I do have a
Wow.
follow-up question to my question.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, do you get jealous then when your new friends hang out with each other? You know what I mean? Or when you get excluded from
Like
other
without you?
activities with your friends, right?
I get FOMO. I get sad.
I
FOMO.
I
have
will
FOMO
admit.
all the time.
I do.
I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, you're gonna go get coffee? Okay.
Yeah.
I like coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm not. I'm the opposite.
I was about to say, I feel
I'm
like
like-
I'm like, yes, my friends are hanging out. This will be great. I feel like I've also like stolen friends from both of you before.
Really?
Like, well, Adrienne, after I met her, they
Oh,
came
for
over
sure.
for dinner one night.
That's
and I
true.
was like,
That's true.
I'm like, Keith and I think are the like queen and king of
Yeah.
connecting with other friends' friends. And then like David Dang and I hang
Yeah.
out a lot. And
You guys
it's
are
just
super connectors.
Yeah, I think it's just like when you're friends for a reason. So like your friends should get along because you like each other. So there's got to be something that you have in common. And I do
It's
need to text
also-
Adrienne though. I haven't
it's also
texted her in a
like-
long time.
She's 2 weeks.
She's
from
ready.
having
She's
kids.
almost.
Oh my
Okay.
gosh. It's also like everyone should have their own relationship and experience with the other person. Right?
Yeah.
So it
That's
shouldn't always have to be triangulated.
That's true.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
you
too
should let
forced.
them do their own kind
Yeah.
of thing. So that's why I'm always very, I never get FOMO. I really don't ever get FOMO. I'm usually have too much to do anyway. So I'm like, can't make it anyway. Sorry. But I've like all the friends hanging out. I never really
Yeah.
Yeah.
get upset or something if I'm not invited.
I'm
or,
not
like, if
upset.
there
I'm
or
just
all that
like,
stuff.
do you, I'm just like a needy girlfriend. Do you still love me? Do you
need
also
that
love me?
reassurance.
Love me too.
Yeah, if you send me a selfie and text me that you're hanging out, then I feel included. But like otherwise, I'm like, okay, do you love each other more? All right. Good to know.
I will
More
say,
than me.
I saw Becky and Matt posted a picture of themselves hanging out on Instagram, and I was like,
Do you need more friends to be there? Call us. We like food.
I was forced to cook though. I will say something that I think Eugene does that is like a very good friend move. And I don't think he always gets credit for being as good of a friend as he is to people. But he always texts me when he knows Keith's going to be out of town. I would say almost every time Keith's been gone for like a weekend or something, Eugene will be like, do you want to come over and watch shitty TV? Do you want to
That
have
is so
dinner?
thoughtful.
Do you
Eugene
want
is
to
an
come over?
excellent friend.
Yeah, he's a very good friend in that way. So that's why we were hanging out.
that is really, really thoughtful.
Yeah. And I don't know if he's doing it like, if it's like subconscious or
No,
if
I
he's
think
doing it
he's
on
making a
purpose. But
decision.
I
he's a sweet
realized
guy.
it. He always,
Yeah.
he's always like, what are you doing?
He does. Yeah.
Do you actively maintain your friendships or do you think of them as static?
Maintain.
Maintain. Friendships need work.
And in what way do you do that? What you doing?
Sending selfies.
Yeah.
Sending TikToks.
Sending
TikTok,
TikToks.
memes,
Yeah.
Giffies.
Even if it's just like, hey girl, hey, thinking of you, you know?
Yeah. Voice
Yeah.
message
Hey, girl,
here and
hey.
there. If it's been a while, you're like, run into your next thing. You're like, hello. Just one.
The recent thing that I've been doing is like, you know how your phone will do like memories and the photos pop up.
Oh,
yeah.
There'll be like
Photos.
videos of someone.
yeah,
It'll be like
yeah.
videos of Ariel.
Yeah.
There'll be like
Honestly-
20 photos in like one day. Then you hung out with Ariel, so you like send the video.
Yeah,
That's
whatever.
been my
Yeah.
favorite Apple feature as of late, the memories tab. It's
I
so
love
fun.
it, but also it reminds me of when my kids were babies, and then I go down a rabbit hole, and it like hurts my heart, and it's great, and it also hurts me.
I had one that was of Ned, and I sent it to him. It looked like he died. What do you mean?
It was like it's in memoriam.
Yes, it was from Australia, and it started with just the saddest music, and it was like Ned like in his pajamas on the airplane posing, and then like him holding Wes, and Keith and I were just crying.
Oh my
And so I sent it to him. I was like, I'm so sorry for whatever my phone thinks is gonna happen. It's like an in memoriam.
So good.
You can't change it, just the music.
Yeah, you can change the music. It was just the first one that it popped up with, and that's why we were dying. I was like, this is so funny.
I feel like I'm always finding things that my friends would like. You know? Like
Like
'cause I'm
actual tangible
like
things.
tangible things.
Yeah.
Because you guys all know
True.
I am a shopper and I would be a hoarder if I didn't give away everything. And so, yeah, I'll be like in a little store and I'm like, oh my God, there's 2 of these. I have to give them to the twins, like
You did find those napkin rings for me. It's true.
exactly.
Yeah.
Those were a good find.
I know.
Yeah, if you're really hunting for something, you have to tell Ariel, like, I've just really been thinking I need a lavender lumbar pillow for my bed.
She got you.
I will find it. Specific. I will find it.
I don't
Are
know.
you looking for lavender?
No.
Lavender's not
She's
really
like, I
your
need one
color.
right now.
Rachel likes
Lavender's
a little
not
bit more
my color.
saturated color.
Yeah. No, I was just making it up. It was just random. Don't find that for me.
I won't. I don't.
I'll
think
come
you
up with
need a
something else.
lavender
No.
pillow.
I don't.
Maggie, maybe
I'll take it.
He's like, speaking up.
I am a lavender
something
pillow.
opalescent, perhaps for Maggie.
Yeah.
How important is it in your friendships that both parties do like equal emotional labor?
Not.
Not necessarily. I feel like it can ebb and flow.
What's that look like?
Like, for example, when my really close friend had her pet pass away, I was there for her emotionally and she was distraught about it. And then there's been times where I've needed my friend to kind of help me navigate through my emotions in a different way. And sometimes you're both going through some like different things, different emotions at the same time. And I don't necessarily think it has to be equal.
Equal.
Yeah.
I think it's like, especially comes out with stress.
Mm-hmm.
And when your friend is stressed and you're looking for something from them, you're probably not going to get the response
Right.
that you want, right? Because maybe they're super stressed with work or something else is going on and they could just be like very curt or not give you the support that you're used to.
Yeah.
So I feel like that is when it's harder to understand kind of what's going on. So you really have to learn to give that person grace, that they're not performing at their best right now.
Do you ever fall out with your friends? And if so, how do you repair? Or do you ever let friendships just like fade out or go away or be done? Is there an end to certain friendships?
Yeah, I think there's a fizzling at times where it like kind of peters out. But I did tell one girl once that I didn't want to be her friend.
How did
Through a
that
text.
Bye.
Through a
over
text.
text?
Over text.
How did that
Toast it
go?
now? Oh.
It was fine. It was just a friend that was like kind of dating one of our other friends who actually officiated our wedding. And she was just real shitty to him. And I was like,
Yeah.
I really can't be friends with you anymore because I think you're not very nice. And like,
Yeah.
I don't want to surround myself with people who would treat other people this way. So thank you for our time, but good day.
That's
Did she
so
respond?
not.
Did she respond? Or just no response?
I have to ask Jesus. He was there when it happened. I don't remember her responding. I think she was just kind of like, whatever. Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah. Kind of like bitchy about it.
The drama. That was so adult of you to just say it rather than just like be passive aggressive and be like, I can't hang out. No, not today.
Yeah. Well, I think there's also like, you don't know what you don't know is always very true. And so like, we said it like the other day when we were talking about those 2 friends. I think if you leave a friendship that's not serving you, like kind of on hold or you're letting it fester and grow, it's just going to blow up into something like way worse than whatever the initial.
Well, then it's taking up
issue
mental
was.
space too.
Yeah.
You can only handle so many things at once.
Yeah. Cup gets too full.
I feel like also some friendships are just because your proximity to people, right? So like
100%. Yeah.
you're living in a city and you change cities, you're probably, some friendships are going to kind of.
Yeah. Hannah gave me some really good advice right before our wedding because I had kind of fallen out with the girl that I had lived with right after college, both apartments. We had just like not stayed in touch once I moved. And Hannah was like, okay, close your eyes. You're at your wedding. This girl's not there. Are you upset? And I'm like, no.
No. I don't see her.
I also think weddings get a lot of pressure to have all friends from all times and all parts of your life there. And the way I narrowed it down, I was like, who did I text, call, or send a photo to that I was engaged? If I called them, if I needed to tell them within like a 1 to 2 week time span, they get invited. If I was once very, very good friends with them, but I didn't tell them, they don't know that we're engaged, not invited. Which doesn't mean that we didn't used to be best friends. It just means that we're not very close at this moment in time.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was my gauge because I think I'm sure you're dealing with it. You're like, oh, okay, 300 people. Cool. That's not going to work.
Yeah.
I feel like, especially with weddings, everything is so high stress and there's a lot of monetary restrictions and stuff involved. Like I don't really get upset if I'm not invited. Or
Me either.
included
I
to
kind of feel
things,
similarly.
Yeah.
No.
I do get kind of upset when I don't get invited to a wedding that I invited someone to my wedding.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
That's when
There's a
I
whole
get a
etiquette
little,
thing
there's an
around it,
etiquette,
yeah.
yes. And I feel like we give really good gifts too. So I was,
You're lost.
you're
Well,
party
Becky,
guys.
if we could go back in time, I would invite you to my wedding, but we can't.
I'm very much on your page. There was one wedding that we went to. I'm not going to say names, but Zach was like, I feel like so much time has gone on. Do we have to invite them to our wedding? We're not close. I'm like, absolutely. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. We went to
Really?
their wedding. Yes, we do.
How long
Yeah.
ago?
4 years.
That's iffy. But
Yeah.
Because also time during the pandemic sort of shifted
And
a little bit. So 4
Yeah.
years, it actually
it was 20.
like it feels like
Pre-pandemic.
20, but
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
in terms of the things that we like,
I
life
aged
experiences,
20.
It was
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
2, you know?
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yeah, weddings are hard. Do you guys feel like if somebody was inviting you to a wedding, say a family friend or something like that, do you think that they would look at your name and be like, oh, that person would come?
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Me too.
They'd be fun
Yeah.
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 at the wedding. You know?
Oh, 100%.
Me too. I love weddings. I want people to know that like if you invite me, I'm gonna be there. I'll be there.
and you got to know who's going to, when the dance floor is empty and the music's just starting, who's going to come out and throw down and get everyone
Eugene.
else. Yeah.
100%.
And Matt.
It's a rhetorical
Oh, yeah.
question.
You and David Dang really didn't dance at all in Greece. I was surprised at
I don't know how
how
to dance.
You know how to dance.
non-dancey.
He was wearing
you
his
guys were.
slippery shoes.
The drink looks beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they were on the dance floor the whole
Well,
time.
we were doing the Greek dancing,
Yeah.
which is very different. Yeah, it was a cultural experience. You had to indulge.
Yeah.
Probably once in a lifetime opportunity
Yeah.
To do the Greek dancing. Yeah.
with the Greek people in
Yeah.
Greece.
Yeah.
I
Wow.
mean, how
You're
many
right.
times are you going to be at a wedding doing that?
I feel like we're all wedding dancers.
Oh, yeah.
Like if you're at a wedding, I see Becky on the dance floor.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I always bring a second pair of shoes that
That's
are
smart.
flats
Yeah.
and
that's smart way to do it.
they're sparkly and tie onto your feet so that then I can dance better. I don't want to dance
always
in
wear
my
dancing
heels.
Do those
shoes.
high
I don't
steps.
change.
I take my shoes off. There are times when
But
I
sometimes
come home, no
You'll
shoes.
get stepped on with either men's shoes or heels, and then you're out.
Spilled
not
drinks.
true.
Oh, yeah.
Broken
Okay, well then
That is what
plates,
stopped me.
glass. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Love dancing.
There was one
Dancing shoes always.
There was one wedding in particular that I remember taking off my shoes, and it was outside, and we were dancing on like mud by the end of it, and I was like, "Thank God I didn't have my shoes on for this." Like,
yeah. All right, desert island. You get to bring one friend with you. Who's it going to be?
Oh, God.
Who's going with?
Now you're making me think of utility.
fair.
Who's
useful.
really useful? Ooh, that's a good
Very
idea.
useful.
So one of my best
I'm
friends,
bringing Ariel.
Anthony, So I think most people here have met him. He is vegan and he's very resourceful.
Oh,
So I feel like he would be a great person for the desert island, you know?
Yeah, he loves to
'Cause
tan.
he's very tan also. So the
won't
sun
burn.
would do him well. So I feel like he would be good because he would be able to help construct things,
Yeah.
find the plants and berries in the water, you know?
And it
that's
would
true.
look like golden, gorgeous, tanned while doing it.
He would already look like he's been there for a while, you know?
I think I would take my best friend Natalie, who's my maid of honor at my wedding. She's been adult since she's out of the womb. She knows what's going on. She's very like, let's get this done. Like if she puts her mind to something, she gets it done.
What about you guys? Who you bringing? Desert Island.
Samra. She knows how
Yeah.
to camp. She knows how to
She
start a
knows all the
fire.
She knows
all the animals.
She knows all the
Oh,
animals.
so good.
She
would
knows
she
how to
eat the
bird.
animals?
She knows how to identify based on their chirps.
Would she eat the animals?
Yeah, she would.
She would.
Yeah,
she
If
would.
it came down to her, then
Yeah, she's gluten free though. So
no bread.
No
bread animals,
wheat.
so that's a little hard.
No
sandwiches,
wheat.
but
but she knows. She will make sure I live.
Yeah.
I just thought of Yellow Jackets. I don't know why.
Yellow Jackets, yes.
that's a really hard question because I feel like I would be fine by myself on a desert island.
Yeah. I'm bringing you.
You're like, I want
and
no
you're
company.
bringing the
I am-
camping gear.
I am most people's desert island person. So in that sense, like I am the one who, they would just be somebody that I'd have to take care of. But
spoken like a true mom. She's like, I just want 5 minutes alone on this island.
No one
Or
come
no
with
one
me.
needs me.
This is Mama's desert island.
you know, having to find berries for one person versus two people, you know, there's a big difference. So I would bring somebody who like was purely there for fun, you know, who could look on the bright side of things and be like, you know, hey, we've already built our shelter. You've already built our shelter. How about we go like sit on the beach for a little while? Do you want to like have a conversation or something?
Conserve some energy.
So who is
Yeah.
that? Who's your fun friend?
Who's my fun friend? Probably my friend Alex. Yeah, she's always got a lot of interesting things to talk about.
She would bring the content.
Yeah.
You'd make sure you survived.
And she sort of
You
she
would
could
need a lot of
talk me
entertainment.
down too. She could talk me down off of if I'm like, oh my God, we have to do this now. This is I'm freaking out about this and I need to do this and she's like, do you though? Do you? Really?
The fire pit can wait, Ariel. It
Yeah.
won't be dark for a long
Exactly.
time.
Exactly.
All right, that's about it. That's it. That's friends. That's best friends.
Well, you are all my best friends. If we were living on a desert island, shit would go down.
Shit would go down. You thought Yellow Jackets was scary? Just wait till you see the Try Wives.
I would not mind
Everyone
trying
for
that.
themselves. Go.
I would not mind trying a desert island scenario for us and just see what happened.
Could we go to-
Survivor,
Could we go to the
Try
Maldives
Guys
for
edition.
that?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
What beach exactly does it have to be?
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Maldives.
Okay,
Yeah.
there's another
Turks and Caicos.
Rachel,
Another
are we
perfect
greenlit?
video.
Are we greenlit?
Perfect.
I'm gonna have to run the numbers on the
I think that
Maldives.
means yes.
Priceless.
That sounds like yes.
Priceless.
And thank all of you for listening to us today and sitting with us. We do love sitting with you. And Becky, take it away.
Guys, wash your hands, be nice to each other, get vaccinated and boosted, pee after sex, and generally just be safe and smart, you know?
Tip your servers.
Yeah.
Oh my God, tip your start. Tip anyone. Tip everyone. Tip everyone all the time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.